Hello everyone! Welcome to Vicarious Pixels. We're doing a quick episode.
Hi, I'm Bob.
I'm Tim.
Yeah, I was ready that time.
He was ready. So as always, we're going to be talking about some stuff. In 1 week, we're going to be going to New York City Comic Con and meeting perhaps a lot of artists. That's kind of my big thing. I want to meet a lot of cartoonists. I can't wait. Hopefully going to get a lot of sketches and stuff. I'll post whatever I get. And Bob, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to all of the people that are into animes that I've never understood. And then they judge me for not being interested in that. That's usually a thing, anime and manga.
Really?
Manga.
Who judges you for it?
My coworkers.
That's weird.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not into this.
It's not for everybody.
No, I mean, like, I like American comics. I don't really get into that many. But
Yeah.
It's just because I probably wasn't exposed to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, I'll see a lot of people dressed up in these really fancy costumes, look like some sort of royalty from like a weird country I've never heard of. It turns out that they're just anime
they're
cosplayers.
an anime character. They're cosplayers.
They should all be dressed up as Batman.
I'm sure there will be about a dozen Batman there.
I hope there's more.
I'm betting there will be more.
I'm hoping there's at least two
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton Batmans.
I'm sure
black
there will
and
be.
yellow.
Well, I'm sure there'll be black and yellow Batman.
No.
But
Michael Keaton Batman.
it has to be Michael Keaton.
It has to be Michael Keaton Batman.
From Batman Returns
From Batman, no, 89. Batman Returns is the black, there's no yellow.
There's yellow in it. He has the yellow bat.
You sure?
They didn't take it out until Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Val
I'm
Kilmer
going to
was
trust
the one
you
that,
on this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we see one person dressed as one of the circus clowns from Batman Returns. From the circus gang in the beginning of the movie.
I'm trying to from Batman Returns.
From Batman Returns, when he straight up kills the gang members.
Yes, there is like some. Well, we don't know. They might have.
Oh, they died.
Yeah, there was definitely some. There's a dude he lights on fire with a Batmobile, which I was just like, wow, this is really dark. Oh, although that movie does have child murder in it.
It does.
Yeah, an attempted child murder.
Yeah, Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah,
A.K.A. Frank Reynolds.
Yes, Frank Reynolds is always sunny.
That's his name.
That's exactly what he did after Batman Returns. He was just like always sunny.
He cut some of his hair off and he became Frank Reynolds.
Yeah, he separated up his fingers.
Got his glasses.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't care that he bit off a dude's nose.
No, it doesn't matter. That's what you get for breaking up with, Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's right.
You were never really together.
Yeah.
She was just playing you, Frank.
And she can't be killed.
She cannot.
She has 9 lives.
She'll tase the hell out of Christopher Walken while
he's
making out with him.
That is still like the thing that makes no sense about the movie. His big thing is like he wants to steal power from Gotham and store it for some weird reason. Like it's never really explained. Like it's like I'm leaving this for Chip, my son. And I'm just like, you're leaving what? You're stealing power? Are you selling it to somebody? It makes no sense.
No, he just wants him to have power so he doesn't have to pay an electric bill.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotham's
It's like power.
expensive.
And they're like, no, Max Shrek, named after the guy from Nosferatu. You are not.
Wait, he's not named after Mike Myers?
Wait, what? Mike Myers.
Shrek.
Oh, Shrek. Yes. No.
It's a joke. I know there was a time difference. I know Batman Returns came first. Relax, guys.
I know. It would be amazing. They're like, because I don't know when the Shrek storybook came out.
That's true.
Yeah. But no, I'm pretty sure it's the Nosferatu
If
guy.
he's named after Shrek.
If he is named after Shrek, the storybook before it became a movie, the ogre before it became a movie, that would be amazing.
I mean, it would explain why they chose Christopher Walken.
Because he's an ogre.
Yeah. He has layers like an onion.
He does. It's like, she makes a hell of a cup of coffee. That Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, it's the worst. Like, there's so many weird things that happen in that movie. Not to mention, like, the department store thing where she destroys a department store which has a gas stove hooked up. Like, there's so many, like, weird things that happen in that movie.
How about the fact that her house has a giant neon sign in it that says hello there, just so later she can punch out or whip out the O.
No, I think she breaks it with something. I don't know what though.
I thought it wasn't her whip.
She doesn't whip it.
And then it just says hell here.
Hell here. It's so weird. But actually it's probably one of my favorite Batman movies.
It's one of the best.
It is one of the better ones.
It's endlessly likable.
It is.
Yeah. And that's the second time.
What?
Well, the first time of two that Pee Wee Herman plays the Penguin's dad. Kind of.
Is there another? What does he play?
Gotham. He's the adopted father.
That's right.
He adopts him, kind of, or he might be the real father, or whatever it is.
Yeah, because I do remember seeing him in Gotham.
How
show.
Crazy is that?
That is weird.
If you're sitting,
and obviously they did that on purpose, of course.
I don't know. Maybe they were just like, hey, who can we get that's really bored? Let's get Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
That's how they called him. They were like, Pee Wee? He's like, my name's Paul. Pee Wee Herman? Paul Rubens?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you want to be on Gotham? It's about Batman, kind of, not really.
Yeah.
Tangentially.
He must be a fan of Batman.
Have
you gotten to him on the blacklist?
I did, yeah. He's afraid of blood.
Yes. It's great. That scene where it's like, oh my god. It's like, sit down. It's like, somebody get this man some water. Like, it was just like, I was like, this is amazing to see like this character like just doing this, but so good. That's why I'm sure like David Spader was just like, can we have Paul Rubens come in and play this part? Because I'd love to play a scene with him.
David Spade.
Did I say David Spade? James Spader. Wow.
That'd be a completely different show.
That would be a great show.
I would watch that.
I would too.
David Spade as Raymond Red Reddington.
Yeah.
In The Blacklist. Boy.
Yeah. That's an SNL skit waiting to happen.
It is.
But
peace, David Spade.
So we got way off track. So update. You finished the Spider-Man PS4
Spider-Man
game. And
I really liked it, start to finish. I was telling Tim a little bit earlier, there's one issue I have with it where it just the game just kind of vomits exposition on you for about 10 minutes.
Just to kind of fill you in on the backstory of the Sinister Six.
Right, and the way it does it is you walk to a table, you listen to an audio log, and you look at an item relating to that character. So
yeah.
Like, I don't know, a little bit of a horn from Rhino or like a piece of Vulture's jetpack. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but it's obvious they figured we could go in-depth story on all these other characters, or we can have a really good story between Peter and Otto.
Yeah, and
build that relationship.
And Mr. Lee, whatever his first name is.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
Actually, and Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
All of those are really well put together, and then you just kind of have the nemesis.
Yeah.
Who they're just kind of there. They're there to be threatening for that one fight.
Yes. To basically beat the crap out of Spider-Man on the raft. I think that's the one fight. Oh, spoiler alerts for all this. But
you don't even fight them there. You chase Electro, but you don't fight him.
Right.
You fight them
in a cutscene. Basically, that's the whole thing. It's a cutscene of.
But you don't even press. Yeah, it's literally a cutscene. It's not even like quick times.
Yeah.
And then later on, you fight a couple of them together, and then most of them separate.
Right.
And the iconic fight is the Mr. Negative, and of course the Doc Ock. But that's not really that long. It's almost like a prelude to your superhero fights for next time. Yeah. And that, I think, goes along with setting up the story. To be honest, I don't know why they were pushing so hard to keep highlighting that it was 8 years in.
It does seem kind of strange to do that.
If you look at every interview beforehand, they always pointed out, like, it's the most important thing. Because
and we talked about that, too, that it's a weird thing, that's a very strange thing that they did.
And I thought it was going to be because beforehand that they were just going to kill Peter, because I knew Miles was in it. But I really do think now, looking back at it, that the reason they did it was just because they didn't want you to be scared that it was another origin story.
I think that's true too, and I think it's also that they kind of learned that lesson from Homecoming, which was just like, we don't need to do an origin story. Let's just, everybody knows this. It's like, nobody needs to see Batman's parents get killed ever again. We know why he's Batman.
You still will.
We still will. It's ridiculous. But we know. We already know. Unless you're putting some new wrinkle in there, like Martha.
Who's Martha?
Why do you know that name? It's his mother's name. Yeah, we all get it. Martha, that's great. Why is Batman killing people?
I really do think that Zack Snyder was just smoking weed one day, and somebody said to him, like, who's going to play Martha Wayne in this? He's like, wait a minute.
Martha?
We have Martha Kent? There's a Martha Wayne?
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then I think that he just...
and then he said, hey, David Goyer, do this and spit on Martian Manhunter while you're doing it.
Yeah. And that's how they did it.
Yep.
It was really dumb.
Yep.
But I do think that's the reason. That's the only reason for that.
Yeah.
It's like, what a link.
Yes, exactly.
It's really just because people in the 30s didn't have that many names.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Martha or Joan.
Yeah. And really, like, I think, what is the father's name is Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. Thomas and
Jonathan Kent really generic names.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I don't think it was anything more than a coincidence, but to Zack Snyder, it was the meaning of life.
Yes, apparently. And ridiculousness.
Because I think he did write that one, right? He did write Batman vs. Superman. Which
explains why they tried to shoehorn in so many of the Dark Knight Returns things, because he loves Frank Miller.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Who wouldn't?
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one he did pretty close. I mean, there wasn't too many changes.
I don't know why people hate on 300 now. When it came out, people loved it. Yeah.
There's like a hate on 300?
There's a hate on 300 now.
Is it like, because that sequel wasn't super?
Yeah, but that's not 300. That's like... Oh, man. I can't even... It's like hating on Lake Placid, which was brilliant.
Oh, my God.
Because you saw Lake Placid, too.
Yes. Lake Placid's such a weird movie. It makes no sense, but it's great.
It's the origin of Betty White as we know her today.
Oh, yes. She's great.
That was a bad one to reference for that.
I know. But
Mortal Kombat?
Sure.
So Mortal Kombat, when it came out in theaters, It was decent. Right?
Yeah.
It was the best we had for video game.
It really was. Other than that, we had Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, and Double Dragon, which was terrible.
Oh, we won't even mention that. By the way, John Leguizamo going to be at New York City Comic Con.
Nice.
In Artist Alley for some weird reason.
Maybe he's drawing something.
Sure.
You know what? I'd like to meet him. I'd like to ask him about The Pest.
I would like to ask him about The Pest. I kind of like The Pest. It's weird, but sure.
I would like to ask him why they felt the need to rip off The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh.
Like, only shortly after the Ice-T and Gary Busey, The Game.
Right.
Or I think it was called The Game. Which was another ripoff of The Most Dangerous Game. Why?
I don't know.
And I'm going to ask him, and I'm going to say, this is your fault. I get that you're funny, but you need to relax.
And he's going to be like, I don't even know what you're talking about, and then move on with his life.
He might.
And he's going to be like, yeah, something I can sign, and you'll be like, no.
Yeah, this DVD copy of Super Mario Brothers.
Oh my God, he probably would. He's actually, I think that's named under him, as Super Mario Brothers. Not The Happening.
Star of Super Mario Brothers as Luigi Mario.
And Hit Girl 2, or Hitman, or no. Kick-Ass 2. He was in Kick-Ass 2.
He was like the assistant to the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does a lot of the assistants at the back. Oh, I can get him to sign my copy of Gamer. I just have to buy one. It's a terrible movie.
Oh my God. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, all right. Don't watch Gamer.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man was really solid. Play it, finish it. I'm not going to spoil the ending.
Oh, man.
Do you want to spoil the ending?
No, we won't spoil the ending. But I thought it was very well done. And I think if they continue with this series, I think it could really do really well.
Yeah.
Keep that story going.
Well, they set up the DLC to come out. You might be able to fight Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, Mysterio. he's the best. So maybe put him in there.
Not in a Halloween costume.
Not some lady in a Halloween costume.
Which I still loved. I thought it was great.
No, that wasn't even a fight.
It wasn't. It was just funny.
I want to fight Mysterio.
And to have the classic characters in that way, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of classic characters...
In that way,
Bumblebee, they released, I guess, like, I don't know if this is the final trailer or...
When does it come out?
I forget. I think
it's like Christmas?
I think it's a holiday movie.
Yeah, probably not. They'll put out one more.
I figured it was going to be like a summer release. It seems like kind of like a summer movie.
Remind me later to show you a picture of something we talked about last time. But
okay.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumblebee. Looks good. Kind of wish this was the beginning of how they started the series.
No.
Really?
The Last Night.
Oh.
Did you finish that one?
No. Well, yes and no. I watched the ending of it.
Did you see the Anthony Hopkins go toe-to-toe with a giant robot? Did you watch that scene?
I watched a little bit of that scene, and then I couldn't watch the scene anymore.
That's the best scene in the movie. And then Stanley Tucci playing British butler robot the whole film. And
also Merlin.
And Merlin, yeah.
Drunk Merlin.
Oh yeah, and he's a Witwicky because he's a descendant of the Witwickens.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. He's a Merlin.
Ugh.
That's why it's so good.
Ugh. But enough about that movie. So this looks really good. The guy who directed it, I can't remember his name right now, but is a very huge fan of Transformers. Pretty much reset everybody's look. Like Bumblebee looks closer to the Bumblebees. He's a VW bug. They show scenes from Cybertron where everybody looks exactly like they do in the cartoon, just a little bit more made up. Like Optimus Prime looks still voiced by the actual actor, but looks a lot like the actual character. Starscream looks like Starscream. Like everybody kind of looks how they're supposed to look. And like there's even a part where Shockwave, who's like the tape recorder, does a whole thing where he shoots out like a tape thing that transforms into I think it's Ravager, like the cat thing. But they all look dead on. I'm just like, yeah, they all look like they're supposed to look. Why did that not happen before? I think it's like they're trying to sell less cars in this. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
Or less pizza.
Yeah.
Or less M&Ms.
Yeah, I think at this point they don't really need to have extra other funding in this.
All they need to do is advertise this coming out in China.
Okay.
Those movies always break the $1 billion mark, and 80% of it is from China.
Oh yeah, because they're huge fans of
it's
Transformers.
Giant robots. They just like giant robots.
Giant robots and Transformers.
If I go to China and like somehow solder like some wires onto my arms, I'd be a billionaire.
No, they'd be like, that looks ridiculous. Put some time to your costume.
I'd be like, pew pew.
They'd be like, no. Let me show you our giant statue of a Gundam that
or
we
I
have.
Just claim I'm Tom Cruise. They also like him.
They love Tom Cruise. They love Will Smith. Love Will Smith too.
I could claim I'm Will Smith. I mean, I don't see race.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. But looks good. It looks closer to. It's like a simpler story. John Cena seems very angry in it.
He's a soldier.
Yeah, which some people are speculating that this is some weird crossover with G.I. Joe, perhaps. And I think this actually takes place in the 80s, like the late 80s. So
it is doable.
Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see if they actually do. Is this going to link in, or is this just like a soft reboot for them? But I like it. I think it looks good. I hope it does well because I think it's closer to what Transformers actually is.
They're all good.
All right. So yes, they're all good. How many were there? 5?
I believe
4?
5 or 6. There hasn't been a bad one yet. I'm just kidding. The last one was the only good one.
Yes, the last one was.
The Great Night was the best one.
No.
I think it's called The Last Night.
Last Night.
With a K.
Doesn't even matter. It's horrible.
No, it's great. I love that one.
Yes.
For real.
I'm sure you do.
This isn't even sarcasm.
And so, because we have to get out of here, like I said, this is going to be a short episode. This coming October, because we're recording this still in September, is Inktober. and it was started by a cartoonist that like for 31 days in October you put up like an ink drawing. It's a way to kind of get yourself into a better design space and also practice your inking and stuff. I think that's why he did it, was to start to practice his inking. But I did it last year. It was not really planned out. I just kind of like did it last minute. But this year I planned out quite a bit. So far I've gotten almost all my days planned. I've left a few spaces actually for Bob to pick a few.
Oh no.
But those are towards the end of the month. But the first will be I'm going to do a Captain Marvel because of the new movie. I figured, why not? But other things that are just events that are coming up, I figured I'd do a Venom one for the movie. I think this month also Walking Dead comes back. I think The Flash, Riverdale, Arrow, Supergirl, like they have all that stuff coming back. And I think from Netflix shows, Sabrina the Weird Adventures or Chilling Adventures, Daredevil, the new Daredevil season 3 comes out,
Double D,
and Castlevania. So I'm gonna have try to do one for every day that they kind of do premiere. I'm gonna also do an ink drawing of a character from the show or whatever.
There's some really good options.
Yeah, and I figured I can do some video game ones and stuff in there.
Throw in some Red Dead.
I might do a Red Dead one. It's amazing that they keep showing more and more stuff. 200 animal species, everything that they've actually come up with that's been coming out it's amazing in-depth game.
Yeah.
So
I'm
what?
I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah. So we have to get out of here, and as always, I'm Tim. You can find me on the Instagrams at Tim Martinek.
And I'm Bob, and Tim pointed at me and then raised his arm out when
because
he said Tim.
I know you forget your Twitter and your Instagram account.
No, I know all of those. I'm definitely not looking them up on my phone right now.
Well, I'll just fill you in. So if you want to check out the Inktober stuff, I'll hashtag it also Precarious Pixels. You can find us on Spreaker and Stitcher at Precarious Pixels. You can rate and review us on iTunes, and you can find that's where we have our full catalog as well. And maybe sometime soon I'll get the Tumblr working and have some stuff posted on there as well. And so your account?
I'm on the Instagram at BobJMartin, Marton, and I'm on Twitter at Martin, Marton_Bob. That's with 2 B's and an O in the middle.
All right. And as always, check us out, rate us, and we'll be talking to you soon after New York City Comic Con. We'll fill you all in. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's 1-0, you perverts.
To do a little redesigning with us, you can find Bob at Martin, MARTON_BOB on Twitter, and you can find me on Instagram at Tim Martinek, all one word, TIMMARTINEC. And you can join in us, have some fun, do your redesigns for this week's redesign. It's a lot of fun for us to do this, but we like to see fresh ideas and fresh artists doing what they do as well. You can also hashtag it Precarious Pixels and we'll find it as well.